Hello. Today I'm going to talk about a recipe that is as close to set it and forget it as you can get. I've gotten a lot of requests lately for something simple that people who know nothing about Jackrabbit can set up and get going and start earning right away, but more aggressive than Jackrabbit's default settings. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's a simple recipe that you can use to start right away. Now, I will start out with the following. This process requires a single down DCA, or dollar cost averaging, which means if you have an order size of $11 and you go to dollar cost average, your order size should become $22. If you dollar cost average again, your order size should become $33. If you have a platform where if you have a dollar cost averaging of double down and you go from a $10 position to a $20 position, bringing your total up to 30, that's not going to work. If you have a platform where you have a triple down and your $10 position becomes $30 and then $90 and then $270, that's not going to work. Your platform must support a single down DCA. If it doesn't, turn this video off right away, because by the end of it, you will end up despising your platform and it will not do you any good. This recipe that I'm going to present is very simple, very basic, and it simply works. Now I'm going to present several different combinations that you can use based upon your risk assessment, all of which is going to stay within $1,300. Now you can do this for less, but I'm not worried about less. I want a basic system that all but guarantees profit. This is as close to a set it and forget it approach as you will ever get. So that being said, I have TradingView loaded and I've picked my coin of choice for this particular system. Dash. It's not the greatest coin, it's not the worst coin, but it's a headache in a lot of cases. It doesn't matter. It's stable enough that this process works. The only thing you have to make sure is your coin is never close to being delisted. Outside that, this very simple technique will guarantee you results. The one thing it will not guarantee you is how long it takes. So we're going to start with a very simple approach. We're just going to load Jackrabbit. Straight up, very simple. Load Jackrabbit. It's going to load its default combination, which is Trend Hunter and Pivot Hunter currently. As you can see, we have buy combinations already. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. We're going to go into the settings. Now, as you see, Trend Hunter has a yes in it. Scroll down. Gan Pivots has a yes in it. Turn it off. All we are using is Trend Hunter. There are no settings to this whatsoever. None. Now, come over to Styles. Turn off your selling. You don't need them. Your bot will be doing the selling. So this is it. This is what we look at. That's all we have. Very simple, very straightforward, done. Nothing else. Now comes the other part of the process, which is your actual bot configurations. For that, I'm going to use the 3C exchange platform. There's no monthly subscriptions, and if you don't use a monthly subscription on TradingView, meaning you only do one single signal, you could do this for a minimum of $25 a month. You won't get very far, but you have, with a very high level of assurity, the ability to break even. And I will show you how that actually works. So let's go into 3C. Now we have very basic, all of my paper bots. Nothing nothing over the top here. Let's go to my deals here. Always start with the paper bot. Always start with the paper bot. Not bad. Daily profit $8. As you can see, doing well. Couple of orders. And I'm going to show you some of these little tactics I'm using. But I want to get to one bot. Right here. This bot is where I'm using my recipe. Very simple, and I'm going to actually set up a bot step by step that shows you how to plug all this in. So let's go back to my bots and let's create the bot for this. Now, during this process, I'm going to show you how to scale it and everything else. So basically, it gives you two choices. We're going to go with the advanced. I'm going to call this very simple. That's it. I'm not even going to get complicated with this. But I do need to use a composite bot, and I'll explain why when we get that far. Now, we're going to clear this, and we're going to use this, USDT underscore all. Yes, you can just type dash underscore USDT and get it. But if we want to expand this later on, we don't want to mess with the coins. So we're just going to click on this now. All of this is just going to show up. We are only trading Dash. But if we want to expand it, we don't want to mess with any of the details. Maybe change the name of it and then go from there. Very simple. So, get past all this nonsense here. Get down here. We're going to start out with one and only one trade. That's it. It needs to be a long bot where you want the profit in the quote or the based currency. Now, we want an $11 base order, and we want a safety order of $11. These are important, and they must be exactly like this for this recipe to work. There are 1,001 what ifs. It doesn't matter. If you want to get off the ground quickly, don't worry about the what ifs. Keep it simple. Now, right now, just a basic blueprint, it says we need 232 USDT. Okay, now this works by speed. You need to get in and out of the market as quickly as you can when you receive the signals. So change this to a market order. Now, for the strategy, we're going to use TradingView custom signals. We want Jackrabbit to initiate the buy signal. Now, as we're working, you will find that you can improve your signal quality. And that will improve your profits. But for now, we have a very basic system that provides entry-level profits to break even and get you off the ground quickly. But it's very important that as you proceed and you gain knowledge, you do tune Jackrabbit to better opportunities. Okay, now we're not going to use a sell signal. As I said, no sell signal. All we're using is trailing take profit. We're starting here because this works reasonably well. I've tested it, I've used it, I've done very well with it. It catches a lot of the swings, it misses a lot of the sharp dips, and it just does well. It works relatively quickly also. Once you get used to the system, you can raise this and play with different combinations to find a system that works well for you. Now, I'm going to start out with ignoring this right now and giving you my best case bot. Best case. This is what you should do if you have the finances. This is your best case. Right here, 100 safety orders. Boom. You have now covered 100% of your entire bot because your deviation is 1%. So for every single 1% of the drop, your bot will add $11 to your position size. That is important to stay in this game. This is the best case scenario. Best case. And this is your total cost. These costs never change for this setup. You can scale it easily if you want to start trading 2 coins. Right away, 2,222 USDT. Very easy to track, very easy to keep a hold of. Very simple. Now, you look at your chart, you see your safety orders are linear. This is what is so important about this process. Now, let's look at our table. The table calculates how exactly everything works out. Here's your base order, your deviations as you go down. That is important. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Worst case scenario, you use 100 safety orders. You have exhausted the entire volume of the coin. That is not very likely. It's not impossible, as Black Thursday proved with Link, but it's not very likely. So this has a relatively high success rate. That is important for a situation that is as close to set it and forget it as possible. This is the best case scenario. You don't need to worry about a stop loss, and you have 100% of the volume of the coin covered with a very fixed budget. And you're only going to use one single signal. So you can actually do this on the free TradingView account, where Jackrabbit does these signals. Very simple. So if you really want to cut corners and get in the game cheap, that's how you do it. You're not going to make a lot, as I said, but you have a very high chance of breaking even, if not coming up with a very generous profit. Okay, here are some more frameworks. Now down here, this is the only other thing you have to worry about. This needs to be 100. That is really it. Best case scenario. And it does very well. So, one deal, long quote, your base and your safety orders are 11. Market only orders. You want speed. You want TradingView to drive everything. A reasonable and rapid take profit process that trails. No stop loss here. You don't need to worry about it. 100% of the volume of the coin. Pretty straightforward, pretty fast. Everything else here exactly as you see it. 1% deviation, scaling, maxed safety orders. This is important. Only do one at a time, because if you cancel an order, it does not cancel your safety orders. You have to manually do that. That's a gotcha within the system that you have to pay attention to. You can have the system place 10 safety orders at once. Don't. Only one at a time. Nothing in this area to worry about. Only this right here. So now we have a very easy blueprint we can follow. And this blueprint will give us a reasonable starting point that does provide a reasonably rapid purchase process with a very conservative and safe bot template or blueprint. So we're going to create this bot. We're going to start this bot. And now we get to the actual messages. Again, we're going to look. All these coins are here just because we don't want to mess with this in the future. So we go down. You see all your bot configurations. All we need is right here. Deal start. That's it. Nothing else. Click on it. It copies it to your buffer. You don't have to type this in by hand. Go back to TradingView. Now, these are all buy signals. These look nice. It's going to spaz out on me, which is fine. We'll just quickly reload it. Now, as I was saying, these are all buy signals. These are fine. The way our bot works, it's only going to handle one. So whatever buy signal happens to be the first one it sees will be what it purchases. The better the buy signal, the better your profits. But that will come in time. For now, let's just get this thing up and running and start making a genuine profit. So click on the alarm clock. As you can see, I've already got a whole bunch of stuff here. That's fine. Click on the alarm clock up here. We're going to add an alert. Now, your condition must be Jackrabbit. Make sure you've already tuned it and set it up for the Trend Hunter before you ever get to this point, just like I did earlier in the video. Click on it. We want buy asset. We want once per bar close. Very basic. One candlestick, one signal, no nonsense. If you have a higher subscription, you'll get open-ended. If you don't, this is what you'll see. You'll have to redo this every 60 days. Not a big deal because it's not that hard. But my subscription allows me open-ended, so that's what I'm going to use. The webhook. This is what it is for the 3C exchange. I know it says 3commas.io. Don't worry about that. So here is the whole thing. Make sure your webhook is identical to this, or it will not work right. And in fact, if you start seeing messages show up over here and you don't start seeing trades in your bot, check this first. Now, the message. Let's get rid of the tracer and we'll plug in everything. Here's our message. Now, don't click save yet. We got a problem right here. This says ADA. We need it to match this dash. So, simply move over, erase the ADA, and type dash. It must be in caps. Do not mess up the bracket and the quotation. Everything else in the message must be identical. Now, normally I would be telling you don't display your message to anybody. But this is a paper trader, which is why I'm not worried about you seeing it. But don't give out your messages. This information gives somebody else control of your bot. So you need to protect this. Okay, so here we are, dash USDT, the message itself. Once per bar close. We're using Jackrabbit as the condition, and we are buying on signal. Once we have that, click on create. You will get this warning. This is normal. It's because Jackrabbit pulls large amounts of real-time data. So expect to see this. Get used to it. It is just a part of Jackrabbit now. Continue anyways. There we go. That is the entire perfect system. Now you can walk away, go to lunch, get your coffee, whatever, and not worry about it. This is as safe as you can get. This method survived Black Thursday. The only thing you have to worry about is making sure you pick a good coin. I chose Dash, but you really should stay within the top 13 coins. If you have a higher tolerance for risk, you can use some of the lesser grade coins, but don't get into the bottom coins. You need trading volume. So let's go back over this. Now that we're done here, I'll show you how to make some changes to the bot. So let's go back in and let's go edit this. There's a lot of different things you can do to actually go through and control how much purchasing you do. Right now we have one deal. This is our budget. It's fixed. Guaranteed, not going to go anywhere. That's the way it is. Now, let's say you want 5 deals. Easy enough. As you can see, it's scaled. But I don't want to use this much money. So now we're going to show you how to increase your risk, but increase your trades at the same time. So now we come down here. We're only going to do 20 safety orders, excuse me. So now we're back within our budget of about $1,200, $1,300. But we're only covering 20% of the coin. Even though we're trading 5 coins at a time, only 20%. So now you turn on your stop loss, 21%. You turn this on, set it to 12 seconds. What this will do now is let you trade more coins with the same amount of finances and increased risk. If your worst case scenario goes below 20% of the coin's value, meaning it drops 20% in price, this will now trigger at 21%, but it will wait 12 seconds to make sure it's actually going to stay below that 20% boundary. Now this is good and bad. It can still drop, meaning you'll lose more. So if you don't want to take any chances and you went out automatically at 20%, or excuse me, at 21% no matter what, leave this off. Then as soon as it hits 21%, it's done. It's out. If you want to give it a chance to recover before you get out permanently, turn this on and set your seconds. Again, only one signal. Now we're trading 5 coins. So with this setup, now 5 positions. Let me get this out of the way. So we can pick up 5 different positions. Each position will sell appropriate to the trailing take profit. Nice and easy here. This is higher risk. It does have the likelihood of being higher profit. Now, let's take this up one more notch. You have 5 deals. We have all these coins. Now, if you want, you can trade 5 coins. 1 position per coin. All you have to do is add the alert, just like I did to the previous one, changing each coin appropriate to what you want. So there are a lot of things you can do here to really begin getting your feet wet. But the ultimate blueprint, the place you should start, the guaranteed place, that is the best way to start trading right away with the safest level. Which doesn't need a stop loss. It just needs 100 safety orders. This is where you should start. If you know nothing at all about the market, this is the safest approach with a reasonably aggressive purchasing process. It works. Period. It does well. It is something you need to be aware of when you're trading. Start simple. Start easy. Start consistently. Let's go look at my bots page. Okay, actually I'm going to go up here too. dashboard. Okay, you can see my overall portfolio for my testing. Pretty simple. And you can see with my very simple blueprints, this is my profit. That's since I've started with these simple tests. This is just today alone. Very easy bots, not complicated. Start simple. This is like the one I showed you, very easy, very simple, but I chose a better starting point. Now, do not click on this. If you click on this, you cancel a deal. If you cancel a deal, you are not selling the asset and you are not getting rid of the asset. Instead, it is being left in your exchange wallet, or in this case, the paper wallet, and you have to manually cancel or sell the asset appropriately. Now you'll see a thing that lets you get open orders, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff with it. But you need to be aware. In fact, let me see if I can get into my main wallet. See if I can demonstrate that. So here I am in my main wallet. As you can see, I don't trust it. Here's the open orders. If you cancel a deal, these are left behind. You need to be aware of that. These are left behind. Canceling the order does not clear the books. So make sure you don't allow yourself to thinking that you will be out of it if the market goes crazy. There is only one way to get out of the market quickly and make sure you don't lose any money when things start going downhill. And that is, actually it should be on this page here, right here. This is it. If things go bad and you want out, this is where you have to go. If you just cancel orders on your deals page, you are not out of the market. So be aware of that when you're working. But if you follow the recipe I just gave you, you won't have to worry about that. That is something you need to pay attention to, is those details. And those details can hurt when you lose money. So as you progress, and you're looking at your deals, wrong button, don't overextend yourself. 48 cents today, not bad. This is real money here. Again, very simple techniques that I'm using to just hold out and look at the market. But if you're looking for the best blueprint, you see examples of it. It works well. It's not perfect, but it works well. Let's go to my bots again. Let's look at the overall statistics. Take a look. That simple blueprint did this. These are a few of my smaller long-term that I'm testing, but as you can see, take a look. That is the power of this blueprint. When combined with Jackrabbit and you tune it properly, you can get some very nice situations. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. and most importantly, follow the blueprint. This gives you instant way of almost assuredly breaking even. Your budget is fixed and it is consistent. Now, I've been asked, what if you only have $500? Well, if you only have $500, let me show you what to do. You will not have it work as fast as this does, but $500 is roughly 50 safety orders. Then you need to take your deviation to 2%. You must have this at 100% to have the most conservative and safest approach. That is absolute. If you want this recipe to work without having to worry about it, this must be 100% price deviation. No exceptions. Now, this is still over 500, so let's go down to 45. Okay, let's go to 40. Now we're under 500, but now we're only at 80%. Okay, let's go up to 88%. You see how I'm doing this? Just simply keep going until you reach 100%. Right here, 100%. So if you have to scale based upon your budget, this is how you do it. If you only have $100, maybe 120, 10%, 10%. Make sure you are at 100%, and this is the lowest you can go. This is also the slowest operating conditions. So be aware of that. The less money you have available for this recipe, the longer it will take. Which is fine if you have a small budget, but you won't break even with low values. That's a realistic fact. The best and lowest I have found that I've been able to break even every month is right here. This is the lowest you can go. And there will be some months you may not actually break even. So you do need to be aware of that. If you want the best opportunity to break even, the most likely opportunity to break even, right here, guaranteed the best approach. Not guaranteed you will break even, but guaranteed the most conservative way to give you the best opportunity to break even and even profit, as you saw from my statistics. So, this is how you start with the very basic, very simple approach. Start here and you won't go wrong. This is the definitive start here package. Trend Hunter, plenty of buy opportunities. Not insane, but it does well. And then this blueprint. Again, not insane, but it does well. I have had very good success out of this blueprint. I survived Black Thursday with this blueprint. It all comes down to your coin choice. Pick a good coin, you stand a good chance of recovery. Pick a bad coin, you stand a good chance of having that coin liquidated. stay within the top 13 coins, and this will really do well for you. If you want to get into the lower range coins, be aware of your risks. So if you can do this amount for your budget, one coin will do very generously, as I've shown you in my statistics. If you can afford to do more coins, or you want to take more risks, you can do it. Use this video as a blueprint for the way you should set up to begin with. And you can't go wrong. That's not to say the market won't go wrong, but you can't go wrong if you follow this basic blueprint. Until next time.